I'm going to say all of the curriculums really quick. Language arts were Logic of English, math were Singapore Math, science, Real Science Odyssey, history, History Quest, Torchlight Level 3, and Torchlight Level K. So now that I've ordered everything for our new homeschool year and I've made all the decisions about what we're going to be using, I figured I was ready to sit down and let you guys know our curriculum picks for the new school year. Start with my oldest. She's going to be in 5th grade. We're going to be using Michael Clay Thompson. Last year we took a pause on it, but we're going to be continuing that this year. Then she's going to be doing Singapore Math, continuing Singapore Math. For my 4th grader, I'm going to be doing Logic of English Essentials 1 through 7, and then we are also continuing Singapore Math. For my kindergartner, we will be doing Logic of English Foundations A, and then we're going to be using Singapore Math as well. That's all of our formal curriculum that we're going to be following for language arts and for math. Going to be doing Torchlight next year. So if you guys are unfamiliar with Torchlight, Torchlight is essentially just like the curriculum. It gives you all of the book recommendations for each subject. Preschooler did Torchlight pre-K last year, so I'm continuing Torchlight Level K this year for her. I'm going to talk about Torchlight Level 3, and I'll tell you guys all of the book picks and what subject they're for. So we'll be doing a bunch of the literature recommendations on Torchlight. We're going to be reading Shakespeare's Secret, All Rise for the Honorable, Perry T. Cook, Granted, George's Secret Key to the Universe, Wild Robot, Freedom Over Me, Peter and the Starcatchers, and The Restless Girls. That's what we have planned to get done this school year, and I have all of those on Audible except for the Wild Robot. We do have the actual book and we'll do read aloud with that. I saved up all my Audible credits and I got all of those on Audible. So, and again, if I didn't mention, we're doing level 3 with my 4th and 5th graders. For social studies, we're going to be continuing Child Through Time. It's honestly one of our favorite books, so it's going to be a nice kind of just familiar book that we're going to be revisiting. We also have When on Earth, same thing. We're going to be using a book called Eat Your US History Homework, and it is recipes throughout history, and it gives a little bit of backstory on each one. And A City Through Time, we also have that book. So for social studies and history, I only had to purchase the Eat Your US History Homework. The Torchlight will reuse books, so you get, you know, most bang for your buck, you know? So yeah, we're reusing A Child Through Time, One on Earth, and A City Through Time. We're also gonna be doing art, which I bought Paint Lab for Kids, A Stage Full of Stories, Women in Art, 50 Fearless Creatives Who Inspired the World, and Old Masters Rocks. All of those are like art study or books that show us how to make certain art. Poetry, I picked up the book How to Teach Your Children Shakespeare, so we're honestly really excited to use that. The theme of level 3 is inquiry and innovation, so the books that I got to touch on those subjects are Innovators, the stories behind the people who shaped the world, Fantastic Failures, Toys, amazing stories behind some great inventions, and Made by Hand, a crafts sampler. So all of those books that I picked up are spines. Spines means that they are used very often, weekly, bi-weekly, every couple weeks. That's where I try to focus on buying books because, again, more bang for your buck, right? The book list is extensive and there are a lot of options and there are a lot of spines. So I didn't get every single spine, but the ones that I did get were spines. I will follow the schedule that Torchlight already has laid out for us. I feel like it's a very realistic schedule and I can easily move things around because we're not doing every subject every day. Okay, we are not doing literature for my kindergartner for Torchlight Level K. We're going to be doing geography and cultural studies, so I picked up Smithsonian's Children's Illustrated Atlas, A Year Full of Stories, If You Lived Here, Houses of the World, and What Do You Celebrate? So we're going to be, again, following the schedule, reading whatever the Torchlight curriculum tells us to read, and, you know, it lay it out really easily, so it all kind of goes together, all of the readings that you're doing, all of the activities that you're doing. For character building, I purchased the book Molly and Keela. For social studies, I picked up one book, 101 Awesome Women Who Changed Our World. For science, I am going to be incorporating our anthology collection because honestly, my kindergartner loves animals and she's gonna really enjoy those books. So I'm going to be including those for like science, but the one that I did pick up for science that was recommended as a spine for Torchlight Level K was Big Science for Little People. So we're going to be doing science projects weekly from that book. And then we are also going to be using the Zoe and Sassafras series. We have all of those books, and it was an extra kind of add-on. It wasn't a spine. It will be like for science. If you guys don't know, Zoe and Sassafras little chapter books, they are all like science-based, about a little girl that's like into science, and she like is trying to solve these science mysteries throughout the book. So I am going to be reading those for her throughout the year, which is why I didn't pick up any extra literature books. A lot of this stuff is just reading aloud and like kind of talking about it. So I figured that it was enough for her on top of the language arts and the math. Yeah, so that's the extras for Torchlight. So the last two things that we're going to be following this year, for science, we're going to be doing biology level 1 from Real Science Odyssey. And for history, we're going to be doing History Quest US History. We started that at the end of last year, so we're going to just be continuing that. And I also have a reproductive system unit study from Teachers Pay Teachers that is going to be, we're going to be kind of doing in tandem with the biology level 1. I'm going to say all of the curriculums really quick so you guys can Google them, look them up. I have most of them linked in my link tree on my profile. Language arts, we're using Logic of English. Math, we're using Singapore Math. Science, Real Science Odyssey. History, we are using History Quest. We are following Torchlight level 3 and Torchlight level K. So hopefully you guys followed me there. If you like this video, share. It might help someone else that's looking into curriculum, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.